everyone, welcome to Mona Patil Tutorials. Today we are going to learn about Standard 9, Chapter 9, Environmental Management. If till now you had not subscribed my channel, then please subscribe the channel and press on the bell icon for the further notification. So let's we start environmental management. So, topic to be learned. So, important topics in these lessons are weather and climate, meteorology, solid waste management, and disaster management. So, let's go to our first topic weather and climate. So, weather is the atmospheric condition at a specific time at a particular place are referred to as weather. And atmospheric conditions depend upon a variety of factors. We frequently express our opinion about the weather by making statements like today it is too cold or it is very hot today, like that. So, weather depends upon the prevailing condition of the air. The climate of a particular region is the average of daily readings of various weather related parameters. So, recorded for several years. Hence, climate is a long term and predominant condition of the atmosphere. So, to understand better, we can learn like this in differentiation. So it is very easy to understand. So one by one we will go to this point. So weather is the condition of the atmosphere in a specific place at given points in the time. This atmospheric condition may take place day by day or minute by minute or seasonally. Okay. So opposite of this, while climate is the average weather condition over a place and it is mostly take place after 30 years of time. So 30 years means not exactly the 30 years, it is probably. Okay. And next is weather may involve just one condition of the atmosphere like today's temperature, today's rainfall, like this. Okay. So while climate includes all the condition of the atmosphere such as temperature, precipitation, you may have experienced precipitation at the time of smoke. Okay, when the smoke has spread in the environment, so the visibility is less. We can means it is very difficult to see the surrounding things. Okay, wind, humidity, cloud, and pressure. Then third point, weather occurs in a place within a short period. Climate takes place over a long period of time. Fourth point, weather is what you get on a daily basis. Climate is what you expect over a long time. Suppose you want to go for the picnic. So what you will expect. Suppose you want to go for the cold region. So you will suddenly you are in your mind the place will come like Jammu Kashmir, Matheran, Mahabaleshwar, etc. Okay. So next, weather changes within a short time, and in climate, the overall changes and variations of a climates are very stable and may take decades or centuries to occur. Decades means 10 years. Okay, period of 10 years. Sixth point, the scientific study of weather is called meteorology, and meteorology studies weather. The scientific study of climate is called climatology, and climatology studies climate. Here I have given a diagram which give a shortcut to understand weather and climate and their common points in between this circle. Okay. So our next topic, weather related climatic factors. Okay. So temperature, atmospheric pressure, sunlight, clouds, humidity, rainfall, visibility. These all the points are related to the weather or climate. Okay. Then importance in the living world, means importance of weather in the living worlds. Daily weather as also long term climatic conditions influence human lifestyle directly or indirectly. Land, water bodies, plants, and animals collectively form the natural environment on the earth. This environment is responsible for the development of organism. So all the lifestyle, the food items which is important to the particular region is depend upon this climatic condition. Okay. So in our India, there is in particular region the climatic condition is different, and according to that they have a particular lifestyle. Like Kashmiri peoples, Rajasthani peoples, their wearing, their food items are particular for the particular place. Okay. Next, the climate of particular region help to determine the diet, clothing, housing, occupation and lifestyle of the people of that region. For example, the characteristics lifestyle of Kashmiri and Rajasthani people. Okay. Then salinity of marine water, formation of oceanic current, water cycle, etc. all related to various weather and climatic factors. Various climatic factors bring about the weathering of rock in the earth crust. This weathering process you have studied in geography. Now next, climate plays a very important role in the formation and enrichment of soil. So the types of soil is also depend upon the climate. Microbes in the soil plays an important role in the formation of organic materials. This process depends upon various climatic factors. Thus, it is very clear that study of meteorology is very important from the viewpoint of human life. Okay. So this is what the importance of the weather in our day-to-day life. Now, to after understanding this, it is very important to know about the meteorology. The meteorology is the science that studies the interrelationship between the various components of the air, natural cycles. Okay, in previous lesson in ecosystem you may have studied about the different type of cycles like carbon cycle, oxygen cycle, nitrogen cycle. So these are the natural cycle or geographical cycles. So then next, geological movements of the earth and climate is called the meteorology. Meteorology includes the study of storms, clouds, rainfall, thunder, lightning, etc. Depending upon the study of such factors, weather forecasts are made. They are useful to common people, farmers, fisheries, aviation service. Now, aviation service means the services which can travel in the air, like aeroplane, aircraft, etc. The next, water transport and various other okay. India Meteorological Department. So the India Meteorological Department was founded by the British in 1875 at Shimla. Its head office is at Pune and its regional offices are Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Nagpur and Delhi. Maps are prepared every day which indicates the daily predictions about the weather. Such maps are prepared and published twice in every 24 hours. In this institute, research goes on continuously on various aspects like instrument for climatic readings, predictions about climate made using radar, prediction about climate related to seismology, predictions regarding rainfall by satellite, air pollution, etc. Now next, monsoon model and climatic prediction. It have basic three types: mathematical model like dynamic, then holistic model and statistic model. So mathematical model means, so first, before going to this type, let me know what is the monsoon model. The tradition of forecasting the monsoon season in India is older than 100 years. After the famine of 1877, H.A. Blandford, the founder of IMD, India Meteorological Department, had made such a prediction for the first time, taking the snowfall in the Himalayas as per the parameter for this prediction. In the decade of the 1930s, the then director of IMD, Sir Gilbert Walker, had underlined the relationship between various worldwide climatic factors and Indian monsoon. And based on available observation and previous recording related to this relationship, he put forth the hypothesis regarding the nature of monsoon. Hypothesis means limitation regarding with the topic. With the initiative of Dr. Vasantrao Gowarikar in the decade of the 1990s, the monsoon model based upon 16 worldwide climatic parameters was developed. This model was in use from 1990 to 2002. So these are the three types of model: mathematical model, holistic model and statistical model. So here factors like pressure, temperature are considered. So forecasts are made with the help of mathematical models which take into account estimate of current weather, related event and ongoing physical interactions between them. So data about the current climatic parameter is the mathematically analyzed with the help of the Param supercomputer. Various mathematical models based upon daily geographic events are developed by supercomputer technology. Okay, then next is the holistic model. In this model, the prediction are based upon those parameters used in other model which have the greatest effect on the monsoon. Nowadays, the prediction declared by IMD are the collective outcome of the various model. This is the called holistic model. Okay, so this is the collective data. Then statistical model. In this model, current climatic observation in the region are compared with the earlier parameter such as oceanic temperature, atmospheric pressure and the nature of the monsoon rainfall of several years. This data is comparatively analyzed by statistical method. Statistical method means it is the graphical method you may have studied in maths. The and predictions are made about the monsoon in the present. Okay. The next is the solid waste management. It is the need of the hour. Now, you can observe the garbage collected in the dustbin of your classroom and make a list of various material in it. So, it consists of various things like pencil, eraser and so on. Okay. Here also you can see garbage collected on a road. Okay. How the place look like a shabby. Okay. And where as it will be clean, it look like very good and it is very helpful for our health also. So many waste material are generated through the various daily human activities. And if these waste material are properly disposed of, they can be valuable source for energy. Currently, solid waste is serious worldwide problem as it causes both water and soil pollution. Solid waste is also serious problem from the point of view of economic growth, environmental degradation and health. It has posed a serious threat to nature and human habitat. Habitat means where we are living. Because of the air, water and soil pollution, it causes. Okay, so solid waste is created by a human being, and that is why we have to manage this all as a we are responsible for it. Okay, then next is what type of waste is there. Okay, so classification of waste is very important. So first is the domestic waste. Domestic waste include all the material like waste food, paper, plastic bag, vegetable waste, fruit, skin, glass, etc. etc. Okay. Industrial waste is generated in the industry like chemical, pigment, sludge, ash, metal, etc. Hazardous waste include the chemical generated in various industries, radioactive material, explosive and infectious material which can be generated from hospitals. Farm and garden waste, leaves, branches of trees, crop residues like straw, animal urine and dung, pesticide remains of various chemical and fertilizer, etc. Electronic waste generated by electronic things. Okay, biomedical waste include whatever the waste from the hospital. It will include bandage, dressing gloves, needles, saline bottle, medicine bottle, test tube, etc. etc. Urban waste means from the city area or village area all. So waste generated through the household industries and large commercial and industrial establishment. Carry bags, glass, metal piece and rods, thread, rubber, paper, etc. etc. Radioactive waste. The radioactive material like strontium 10, cerium 141, barium 140, and heavy water, etc. These all metals suggested here almost made by a human being. So it is very difficult to dispose such a material generated, and this generated especially from atomic energy plants, uranium mines, atomic research center, nuclear weapon testing site, etc. Then mining waste, remains of heavy metal like lead, arsenic, cadmium, etc. from mines. Now biodegradable and waste and non-biodegradable waste. So here the biodegradable waste means those waste can be decomposed very easily in the nature and within a short time, we can say. And non-biodegradable waste means those are not degrade easily and can be in the environment, exist on the environment for a long period of time. It's called non-degradable waste. Okay, so we can see some of the example of this here. Okay, waste material and period of natural degradation. From this chart, you can understand the biodegradable and non-biodegradable. So here banana peeling required 3 to 4 weeks to degrade or decompose. Cloth bags 1 month, rags 5 months, woolen socks 1 year, wool 10 to 15 years, leather shoes 40 to 50 years, tin cans 50 to 100 years, aluminum can 200 to 250 years, certain plastics 10 lakh years, and thermocol and styrofoam cups infinite duration, means we cannot be measure this time period. Okay, so like this those required, now you can see from aluminum can to the thermocol and certain plastic, these are the non degradable material. Okay, so it takes many years, lack of years to degrade, and that is why they are harmful to the environment, because they are not come in the biological cycle. Okay, then here some harmful effect of solid waste. Effect of on biodiversity. Okay, biodiversity means variety of living thing exists on the earth, and these variations are very important for the living world. The bad odor of waste, production of toxic gases, degradation of natural beauty, air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, and spreading of disease. Okay, these are harmful effect of solid waste. Now there are some scientific and eco-friendly waste management. So these are separation and categorization of waste. So in individually we can do this thing. Then next is the biomedical waste management by the incineration. So incineration is the scientific way, with the help of particular temperature the waste material is disposed. Okay, then next is the pyrolysis. Here also the technique of temperature use. So energy production by a burning of waste at a high temperature, for example biogas, bioelectricity. Next is the industrial solid waste management landfill method and vermicomposting with the help of some earthworm. Okay, the composting take place, and this is very useful for the farming purpose also. Next, safe landfill site, and very last is the composting. So these are what a scientific and eco-friendly waste management. So necessity of solid waste management, why it is required, why it is necessary? For preventing the environmental pollution and keep the surrounding clean, which is the basic aim of the waste management. Then next, for energy as well as fertilizer production, and through that to generate work and employment opportunity. So such a work can be given to a group of people, so it can be the way of earning to them. To reduce the strain on natural resources through the treatment of solid waste, so we can reuse something and we can reduce the sources or using of sources, natural sources, to improve the health and quality of life and to maintain the environmental balance. So this is very important aspect for the solid waste management. Now here, principle of solid waste management: reuse, refuse, recycle, rethink, reduce, research, and next is the regulation and public awareness. So we can reuse the thing. Suppose we are segregate the material like paper, glass. In the diagram you can see paper, glass, plastic, metal. So some of the things we can reuse, some can be refused, like plastic and thermocol are very difficult to decompose. So we have to refuse such a things. Recycle. Plastic can be recycled. Some paper material also recycle. So such a materials can be collected for recycle. Rethink. Those are the hazardous thing that can be used for use in our day to day life and can be make difficulty to others. We have to think before using them. Then reduce. Such a thing, some of the thing which can be harmful to the environment, we can be reduced, and we can, in spite of this we can use other things in our life. Then research. For what we can do more to reduce this waste, or to do the waste management. So for that we have to means we can conducting the research related to reuse material that are temporary out of use. Okay, by the project, by collecting the information like that. Regulation and public awareness, this is also a very important point, that as we understand we have to make the awareness among our relationship or in our friends. Okay, so these are the 7 principle of solid waste management, and we can say the 7R. Okay, next is disaster management. Okay, our next point is the disaster management is the action implemented through the proper planning, organized activity and coordination, and it include the following. So disaster means what? The flood, earthquake, tsunami. These are the big disaster, and in such a condition, all the human life may be finished, and sometimes they face various difficulty. So in that difficult condition, if we going to help to others, so what thing we have to take in mind? So and what the way it help to all? First, it helps to prevention of losses and danger, improving tolerance, providing relief from the disaster, mining disaster, and minimizing the intensity of extent of harm. Then, preparation of face the disaster, immediate action in the disaster situation, an assessment of the damage and intensity of the disaster, arranging for rescue work and help, rehabilitation and rebuildings. So these are what the aspect for the disaster management. So very first and basic, we must know about the first aid to disaster victims. The main objective of first aid is what? The prevention of death, preventing the deterioration of the health, and starting the process of rehabilitation. Hence, it is important to know about the emergency measure of first aid practices to be followed. So, basic principle of the first aid is the life and rescue situation. So, ABC is very basic points. ABC means A stand for airway, B stand for breathing, and C stand for circulation. Airway means if the victim has difficulty breathing, the head should be held in a backward sloping position, or the chin should be raised so that the respiratory passage remain open. You can see in this diagram, okay, like that. Breathing, if breathing has stopped, the victim should be given artificial ventilation by mouth to mouth resuscitation. Circulation, if the victim is unconscious, then after giving mouth to mouth respiration twice, the heart should by press down hard by pressing the chest with the both the palm. These two actions should be repeated alternately about 15 times. This is called the cardiopulmonary resuscitation, or we can say in short CPR. It helps to bring the circulation back to normal. Okay. Then next is bleeding, fracture and impact on vertebrae and bones. In these three conditions, suppose bleeding is there, if the victim is injured and bleeding through the wound, then the wound should be covered with the antiseptic pad and pressure applied on it for 5 minutes with the either thumb or palm. Fracture and impact of vertebrae means if any bone is fractured, it is essential that the fractured part be immobilized. Immobilized means should not allow to move. It can be done with the help of any available wooden rod, baton, ruler, etc. If there is an impact on the back of vertebral column, means here the straight something substance you need. The patient should be kept immobile on a firm stretcher. Suppose if victim have burn injuries, it is beneficial to hold the injury part under a clean and cold flowing water for at least 10 minutes. Then rest is a very effective technique for the victim. Like R stand for rest, I for ice, C for compression, and E for elevate. So let me understand one by one. For injuries like sprain, twisting, and contusion, the rise remedy should be applied. Rest means allow the victim to sit in a relaxed position. Apply the ice pack to the injured part. After the ice pack treatment, the injured part should be massaged gently. Elevate, The injured part should be kept in a raised or elevated position, means just slanting position. Okay. Then last topic means how to transport the victim or patient from one place to other, either hospital or either at their home. So there are some method. It is a simple method you can see in the picture. Cradle method. Next, carrying piggyback. Next, human crunch method. You can see here, which is easiest, and pulling or lifting method. Here carrying on 4-hand chair. You can see in diagram in what way they have arranged their hands holding to each other. Carrying on 2-hand chair, and method here stretcher use, and this method is used for by the fire brigade. Okay, here this method is used for fire brigade. So here we have finished the lesson. Thank you for watching, and please like and share this video if you like. Okay.